welcome to the tutorial on Power BI. In this session of this tutorial, let us understand how do we connect to a data source in direct query mode, as well as understand what are the differences between the direct query mode and import mode in Power BI. Let's start. As soon as you open your Power BI desktop, you get landed to a page like this. Here, as explained earlier, you get options to select your recent sources or import your new data. In my case, I am going to connect to my local server, which has already been connected to this machine using a connection. So I'm just going to a local, which is my recent source. So as soon as I click, I get to see all the databases which are present in my system. On the other words, clicking on get data and SQL server, since my database is a SQL database, I'm connecting to a SQL server database. I can define my local as my machine. And here I get an option to select if I want to do this using an import mode or a direct query mode. We should remember that direct query mode is available only to certain sources, in the sense only to sources which are from a separate database. On other words, direct query mode is not available for flat file sources, which include Excel, CSV, text, XML, JSON, etc. So I am selecting my direct query mode. Here I get two options to use in direct query mode. I can either define my database here, write my query here, and there is also an option to include relationship columns, similarly navigate using full hierarchy, enable SQL Server failover support, etc. On the other hand, I also have an option to do it similar to my import mode. But difference is, in this case, data won't get imported, instead the table definitions get imported. Say I'm selecting on a column which is which is a sales order detail table. Clicking on this, I get data that is present in my system in the table in this right window. Here I can either edit data or load data directly. There is also an option for us to identify the related tables, and this works only if a primary key foreign key relationship is set in your database. Now I am clicking my select related tables, doing which the other tables which are related to my sales order detail table are also getting checked. This looks like a pretty cool feature, right? For now, I'm just unchecking these tables because I don't want to import them. Clicking on this load, my sales order detail table gets loaded, which, as explained earlier, you can see in my fields section. Here you can also see the other columns which are present in it. Now let's go and understand in what way the import mode and direct mode are different from each other. Import mode, as the name suggests, it imports the entire data into your Power BI cloud, whereas the direct mode, it acts as a live connection. In the sense, every time you run a report that runs on direct query mode, it hits your database and your queries are processed every time it runs and your data is pulled in. There are also few other differences which are present between this mode. Let's see them in detail. In import mode, you can very well use parameters, but parameters cannot be used in direct query reports. Similarly, data from multiple databases can be used in case of import mode, since as soon as you connect to a database and import, your data gets disconnected from your actual database. So you can use data from multiple databases in import mode, whereas you cannot use data from multiple databases in direct query mode. There is an option as shown to you earlier, where you can create your static tables, and this will not work in case of your direct query mode, since your connection will always be live with your database. Similarly, as I told you earlier, Excel cannot be used in direct query mode, and this substitutes this actual point. You cannot use direct query mode if your server is a combination of your database and a flat file. There is also another limitation which is present in this case. The direct query mode will always allow your visual to display the maximum number of records to be 1 million. In the sense, your data source can have any number of records, but your actual visual can render only up to 1 million records. But this limitation is not present in case of import mode. There are also few other limitations in case of aggregate functions like max and min, because direct query mode will not support max and min aggregate functions, while the same can be used in import mode. There are also a few other DAX queries which are restricted for now in case of direct mode, for that's absolutely for the want of performance. Date and time dimensions can be created automatically from Power BI in case of import mode, whereas this is not available in case of your direct query mode. In direct query mode, while fetching columns from a query, you cannot add or remove columns from your data set. In the sense, if you have written your query with your column names, say select column 1, column 2, column 3, etc. from table, in this case you cannot add or remove a new column from Power BI to your query. On the other hand, if you have written your query like select star from table name, in such case addition and removal of columns is definitely possible. Here are few of the limitations which we found existing between import mode and direct query mode. If you have any other limitations which you know and which was not mentioned in this video, feel free to give it in the comment section. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel for more videos.